This is The Perfect Ruse, a Jessie Hunt psychological suspense, Book 25, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Debbie Soelter. Prologue. Kim Kerrigan shuffled out of the bedroom in a robe and slippers, making her way to the kitchen as quickly as she could without risking slipping on the hardwood floors. It was early June, well past Memorial Day and the unofficial start of summer, but there was still a surprising crispness in the air for Los Angeles at this hour of the morning, and she intended to combat its effects with a hot mug of coffee. If things had gone according to routine, her husband, Greg, would have brewed a full pot before he left for the gym. He was an early riser, usually up, out of the house, and starting his workout before she rolled out of bed. But he always made time to prep her coffee before he left so that she would awaken to the smell of the ground beans percolating. Kim wouldn't have that pleasure this morning, as she was still getting over a cold and had a stuffy nose, so she'd have to wait until she was actually in the kitchen to end the suspense and find out if Greg had come through. She shuffled down the hall a little faster as her anticipation grew. Not that there was ever any real doubt. She couldn't remember the last time her husband had forgotten to fill the pot. Gregory Kerrigan had his faults, including stubbornness, terrible taste in music, and an extra serving of personal vanity, one large enough that it made him get up every morning at 5 to keep those abs washboard tight, even though he was already healthy, successful, and married to a catch, if she allowed herself a moment of vanity. But if those were Greg's biggest flaws, Kim thought she was doing pretty well. Her husband was also kind, thoughtful, pretty funny, hardworking, and super into her. She couldn't really complain. She was about to pass into the kitchen when she stopped and glanced at herself in the reflection of the window, wondering if she was doing her part to keep up, to make sure he stayed super into her. She thought she was getting by. She went to the gym, too, just not before the sun rose. She wasn't all rippling muscles, but she still looked good in jeans and a tight top. Most importantly, she'd never heard him complain, not that he ever would. At 33, she was 2 years younger than Greg, but secretly, she'd always felt like she was the older half of the couple. He bounded places. She ambled. He expounded on ideas. She offered notions. He always seemed to be moving at 1.5 speed, while she was going at 3/4. But not this morning. As she stepped into the kitchen, she noted that it was even colder than usual. Whether she could smell it or not, she would really need that coffee to warm her up. Luckily, she saw it percolating on the counter, steam coming up from the spout and condensation settling along the sides of the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?